Hey guys, so yesterday we learned how to make and read dot plots. So today we are going to take what we learned and we're going to use dot plots to answer some math problems. So let's take a look at some of these together. So let's look at this first one, share and show. It says, a restaurant manager collected data on the lengths of time customers waited for their food. He represents the data he collected in a dot plot. How many customers waited for 15 minutes for their food? So this is the time waited in minutes, and all of these dots represent people and how long they waited for their food at a restaurant. So this first one is starting off simple. How many people waited for 15 minutes? Well, let's look to see how many dots are above the 15. Well, here's 15 minutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 dots above the 15 on the dot plot, so that means 5 people waited for 15 minutes for their food. Let's see if it gets a little bit harder. It says, how many people did the restaurant manager collect data about? So how many total people are they talking about? Remember, each one of these dots represents a person and how long they waited. So if it's asking, well, how many people did they collect data about? That's how many dots are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 people. They collected information on 21 different people at that restaurant. Look at this next one. How many people waited 17 minutes or less for their food? Well, let's think about time. So 17 minutes is here. 17 minutes or less. So what's less than 17? The 16, the 15, and the 14, right? If they waited longer than 17 minutes, that would be anything up here in the 18, 19, 20, 21, but it says 17 or less. So that's this whole section. How many people waited 17 minutes or less? How many people is that total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 people waited 17 minutes or less. Now look at this last one. It says, how many more? That typically means I'm going to be comparing two groups. How many more people waited 17 minutes or less, that's one group, than waited 19 minutes or more? So that's my second group. Well, here's 17 minutes or less. My second group is 19 minutes or more, so that's this whole section. How many people waited 19 minutes or more? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this group has 4. The 17 minutes or less group had 14. So now with these two numbers, they want us to compare those two groups. How many more people are in this group than in this group? So 14 and 4. How do you compare two groups? You subtract. So 14 minus 4 is 10. So 10 more people waited 17 minutes or more than waited 19 minutes or less. All right, let's try another problem. This says, Mr. Dominguez collected data on the heights of the students in his class. He represents the data he collected in this dot plot. How many students are 54.5 inches tall? So let's find where's 54.5. How many students are here? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 students. Number 2 says, how many students did Mr. Dominguez collect data about? So how many total students are here? Remember, each one of these dots represent a student, so you would just need to count the dots. So this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 students. Number 3, how many students are more than 55 inches tall? So 53, that's less, 54, that's less, 54, that's less, 55 is not included because it says more than 55. So that would be all of these are more than 55. How many students are more than 55 inches tall? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 students. Number 4. How many students are more than 56 inches tall or less than 54 inches tall? So that's 2 groups. How many students are more than 56? So more than 56 would not include the 56. So more than 56 would just be these 2. And then the less than 54 would not include the 54. That would just be these 3. These are less than 54. So that's just 3. So how many students are more than 56 or less than 54 altogether? That's a total of, you add them up, 5 students. Okay, last 2 problems. It says, what is the height of the most students in the class, or which one has the most here? Looks like it's 55 here. So what is the height of the most students? 55 inches. It looks like that one has the most. Last one says, what is the difference? That typically means we're going to subtract. What is the difference between the number of students who are 55 inches or less, that's one group, and the students who are more than 55? So 55 inches or less is this group, and the students who are more than 55 is this group. So what's the difference in those 2 groups? So let's find out the numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this group has 15. This group has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what is the difference between those 2 groups? That's 15 minus 7, which is 8 students is the difference. 8 is the correct answer. Okay, so that's just some examples of how you can use dot plots to answer some questions, and now you're going to practice some of those on your own.